Hello there, fourth graders, and welcome to your next math lesson. Today's math lesson is called Estimate Quotients, so please open up your math notebook and turn to the next available page and write that title at the top. Estimate Quotients. Okay, so since it says quotients, we know that we'll be dividing because a quotient is the answer to a division problem. And since it says estimate, we know we will not be finding exact answers today. Rather, we will be rounding to find an answer around the exact answer. And when you find an answer around the exact answer, it's sometimes called an estimate or an approximate answer, or you can just say an answer around the exact answer. Like if I said, oh, there's around 30 students inside of my class. Well, there's not exactly 30 students. Maybe there's 29, maybe there's 31, but I'm just giving a round number, maybe if someone doesn't need to know the exact number. Okay, so let's do an example here. Let's say we have 123 divided by 3. Now, we don't need to find the exact answer. We need to find an answer around the exact answer, also called an estimate or an approximate answer. And so that's what that little squiggly equal sign means. It means about the same as or around. So 123 divided by 3 is around, and the answer is going to be something close to the exact answer, but not the exact answer. And the way that we do this is we change the dividend as little as possible in order to make it so that we can divide the divisor into it in our heads. And I think the best way is to underline the first two digits and look at underline the first two digits of the dividend and underline the divisor. So we underline the 1 and the 2, making the number 12. And then we think, what's the closest multiple of 3 to 12? Well, it's 12 because 12 is a multiple of 3. So we're going to keep that 1 and the 2 the same, and we're going to change this 3 to a 0. We rounded 123 to the tens place down to 120, and now it's a nice round number, and now it's a compatible number with the number 3, because now in order to divide 120 by 3, we can just divide 12 by 3. 12 by 3 is 4, and then since there's 1 0 in the dividend, all we have to do is drop that 1 0 into the quotient. So 123 divided by 3 is about 40. It's not exactly 40, but it's about 40. Let's do another example. Let's say we have 244 divided by 6. So again, underline the first two digits here and look at them in relation to the 6 and think, what's the closest multiple of 6 to the number 24? Well, again, just like with 12 and 3, 24 is a multiple of 6. So we're going to keep that part of the number the same, and we're going to round this down to the tens place. So we're going to change 244 to 240. Hold that thought for just 1 second. Mr. Dauber speaking. Okay, I'm in the middle of recording a screencastify video right now, so I'll have to do it afterwards. All right, thanks, bye. Divided by 6. Okay, so now instead of 244 divided by 6, we have 240 divided by 6. But 240 is just 244 rounded to the tens place. So 24 divided by 6 is 4. And then we just take this 0 from the dividend and we drop it to the right of the 4 in the quotient. So 244 divided by 6 is about 40. So we got the same answer twice in a row. That's funny. Okay, let's say we have 345 divided by 7. I'm going to put a line here to keep these separate. Okay, again, I think the best way is to look at the first two digits here and look at it in relation to the 7 and think, what's the closest multiple of 7 to 34? Well, think of your multiples of 7. 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, 7 times 4 is 38, 7 times 5 is 35. And so that's the closest one. So we're going to round this 34, which it's actually 345, but we're just pretending. We're going to round this 34 up to 35, and we're going to change this 5 into a 0. And look, that's exactly what 345 would have rounded to if we would have rounded it to the tens place, which is actually exactly what we did. This 4 is in the tens place. He asks the 5 for a raise. The 5 says yes. So that 4 becomes a 5. Everything to the left stays the same, and everything to the right becomes a 0. So now we're going to do 350 divided by 7, and all we have to do is 35 divided by 7. Oh, and you know what? I accidentally put a real equal sign here. It should be an about the same as sign. 35 divided by 7 is 5. And then we take this 0 from the dividend and drop it to the right of the 5 in the quotient. And so 345 divided by 7 is about 50. Let's do another example. Let's say we have 415 divided by 6. Okay? So again, look at the 41 and look at the 6 and think, what's the closest multiple of 6 to 41? Well, think of your multiples of 6. 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24, 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 6 is 36, 6 times 7 is 42. That's the closest number to 41. That's a multiple of 6. So we're going to round this up, make it 42, and change this 5 to a 0. So we're rounding 415 up to 420. So what we really just did is we rounded 415 up to the tens place. The 1 asks the 5 for a raise. The 5 says yes, so the 1 becomes a 2. Everything to the right becomes a 0. So now we have 420 divided by 6, and we're just finding an estimate, so we put that about the same as sign. And 42 divided by 6 is 7, and we take this 1 0 from the dividend and we drop it to the right of the 7 in the quotient. So 415 divided by 6 is about 70. Okay, let's do 538 divided by 6. So again, look at the 5 and the 3 and look at the 6 and think, what's the closest multiple of 6 to 53? Well, if you thought 54, you're correct, because 6 times 9 is 54. So we change the 53 to 54. The 8 becomes a 0, so it's 540. And that's exactly what this rounds to, rounded to the tens place. The 3 asks the 8 for a raise. The 8 says no, so the 3 rounds up to a 4, and everything to the right becomes a 0. So now we have 540 divided by 6, and 54 divided by 6 equals 9. And then we take this 0 from the dividend and drop it to the right of the 9 in the quotient. So 538 divided by 6 is about 90. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some independent ones to do now. I'll give you 2 to do. Do 1,406 divided by 7. Find the estimate, the about the same as answer, or an approximate answer. And do 2,719 divided by 9. Okay, go ahead and do these both independently, and please press pause in this video, solve both of these independently, and then when you're finished, press play so that you can see if you did them correctly. All right, hopefully you pressed pause and you found the estimate for both of these, and now you're ready to see if you did them correctly. So we look at the 14 and the 7 and we think, what's the closest multiple of 7 to 14? And it is 14, because 14 is a multiple of 7. So we're going to keep that part the same, and everything to the right becomes a 0. So now we have 1,400 divided by 7, and 14 divided by 7 is 2. And then there's 1, 2 zeros in the dividend that we add to the right of the quotient. So 1,406 divided by 7 is about 200. And then here we look at the 27 and the 9, and we think, what's the closest multiple of 9 to 27? And it is 27. So we're going to keep that the same. Everything to the right is going to become a 0. 2,700 divided by 9. So we do 27 divided by 9, which is 3, and there's 1, 2 zeros in the dividend, and we drop those to the right of the 3 in the quotient. So 2,719 divided by 9 is about 300. Hopefully this lesson made sense to you today, and if not, you can always ask for help. And make sure that you do your very best on the quiz, which is attached below this video in the Math Google Classroom. And I will catch you next time. This is Mr. Dauber signing off. What is that? Get out of here.